Welcome to May 1st, the Friday edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. Pleased to report that everything is greatly subdued now. The only severe weather risk today, Friday, is down in South Texas, Houston, San Antonio to the coast, and also New Orleans and Tallahassee. This is a marginal risk, level 1 out of 5. There really isn't any tornado risk with this virtually. There might be something here in South Louisiana, but the SPC downgraded that tornado risk for today. And if you look at the CSU's version of this, again, those coastal areas, Louisiana mostly, everything else, hail, wind is pretty much off coast except for extreme South Texas. So the country looking a lot more stable, a lot more quiet with cool and stable high pressure and control. So for Saturday, tomorrow, there is a level 2 risk for severe storms, northern Florida, including parts of the Panhandle and extreme southern Georgia. So we're looking at Tallahassee and Jacksonville are the two major cities probably in that risk area. There is a broad brush 2% risk of tornadoes in the exact marginal area and slight area for tomorrow. Not a real high risk. If you look at CSU, the tornado risk is at that same level, about 2%, and maybe a little bit more just offshore there in the Jacksonville area. But again, tornado not the main risk. Neither is hail, not that this time of year in Florida or any time of year really. And then the wind risk is probably the highest potential for all the severe weather possibilities for Saturday. Moving ahead to Sunday, we have a marginal risk in northeast Missouri and central Illinois. That includes Columbia, Missouri, Quincy, Springfield, over to Decatur, just about including Champaign, Illinois as well. That's a hail risk for sure. That's north of a frontal boundary. You can see the only risk even showing up is a hail risk, and that's pretty minimal at 5%. Then we jump ahead here to Monday, and even though the SPC hasn't pulled the trigger on anything, that'd be indicated over here, but that's nothing for now. They do acknowledge the fact, though, that we had this area, really kind of two areas. They're sort of connected. This area up here in northern Ohio, Indiana, southern Michigan, and then this one right here. And I'll show you some graphics to support this right here, western Missouri, but mostly central and northeast Oklahoma and southeast Kansas. Let's take a look at the 500 millibar flow at, I think it's 6 p.m., 7 p.m. on Monday evening. So we do have this cutoff low, which will be interesting to see how that evolves. We do have a stronger northern stream here, which is supplying cool and stable air. In between the two, we have this this ridge out over New Mexico, and a little bit of a trough here, very, very slight on Monday. So this severe weather risk is interesting because it's between the two major jet stream patterns. It's on the backside of a broad trough. Not the best place for severe weather, but I will show you that the dew points managed to creep up here by 7 p.m. Monday, with 60-degree dew points almost to Kansas City and encompassing that area that the CSU Outlook kind of favored. So if the wind profiles can get together and cooperate on this, there might be something to that Monday flow, but it would be a little atraditional with the upper level winds coming out of the west-northwest between the two major jet streams. And then on Tuesday, that risk slips into southern Arkansas for the most part, and that at least has some jet stream support. So by Tuesday, we have kind of a broad west-southwest to east-northeast flow. There could be some embedded short waves in that. Now, this is one, but I grabbed it at 0Z, so that really would be lagging too far behind to do this area any good. And as you might expect, the dew points kind of get leaned over with that upper jet stream carving out more stable air here. And then the dew points getting shunted off to the east-northeast. But much of Arkansas, Texas, has at least enough dew points. If you can infer instability by dew points, I mean, maybe not in this case, but it's a good look to kind of tell you how this potential outlook, for later is leaning over, so to speak. And then on the extended outlooks, again, the May 1st through 7th is the next 7 days, basically. Favored those areas that we just talked about. Mostly that's talking about early next week. And then on the 8th through the 14th, Texas to Mississippi and Alabama even looks like a higher probability. Then it looks like more cold flow coming in to much of the eastern and central U.S. with only the high plains of Texas under any kind of risk from May 15th through the 21st. Thanks for watching today's edition of Severe Thunderstorm Outlooks. This is published every day after the morning Storm Prediction Center update. Also, remember to check that site off on day one because they update it fairly frequently. If you like this video, please like it. Also, you can subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.